Hello, everybody. This is Kimchi Crypto. I am going to talk about the worst scenario was not the crash itself. Then what? Let's dive in. Bitwise CIO Matt Hogan said crypto flash crash was a blip, not a structural shift. He argued leverage, not fundamentals, drove last week's record $20 billion crypto liquidation. No major institutions failed, blockchain systems held up, and investor panic was muted. In short, no fundamentals changed at all, only leverage traders are gone. Carl Mann, a multi-millionaire, almost a billionaire crypto investor, mentioned buy altcoins right now, biggest discount before the Q4 giga pump. Another guy, veteran trader, 50-year long, named Peter Brandt, he mentioned also with this post, altcoins means altcoin could fly away as time goes by, especially this year Q4, maybe next year. Locke Davis also mentioned Jerome Powell just said the Fed could end QT in the coming months. Super mega bullish for Bitcoin and altcoins. Arthur Hayes also mentioned this similar way. There you have it. QT is over. Back up the F truck and buy everything. Everything rally might begin. Do you agree? My question here is if QT ends, does QE begin immediately? And then the market, the stock market, crypto market, just pump immediately, right away. Well, this is another guy named Brett. Bitcoin tends to care more about cycles than QE and QT itself. Notice how Bitcoin goes up and down in both QT and QE. Bitcoin is much more cyclical than people want to admit. Here's a question. Is QE bullish for crypto? Yes, 100%. Then, will QE start when QT ends in a few months? No, that was nope. Since 2011, after QE or QT has ended, Bitcoin has always gone down for several months. Would this time be different? He provided us this chart here. The blue area means the Federal Reserve was doing the QE. And in blue area, Bitcoin price was not that bad. It just went up. So Q is good for Bitcoin and crypto. This purple area, this is when the Fed ended their QT or QE. Whenever Fed ended QT or QE, Bitcoin price fell down significantly for several months in the past. And the red area means QT. Usually it's not that good for crypto and stocks. The Bitcoin was not that, good, but at the same time, during QT, Bitcoin price went down and went up as well. So it's somewhat, it's more than just QE or QT. So even if QT ends in the coming months, it usually takes longer time for Bitcoin to go up. There was a somewhat pause between QE and QT, QT and QE. Is this time different? Nobody knows for sure. But this reminds me of new federal chair, the dovish chair, coming in June next year. June next year. And midterm election takes place in November next year. This might coincide with the this pause between QT and QE. Who knows? Nick from Coin Bureau, he mentioned the worst could be over. Leverage flashes have historically preceded months of positive returns, which is good, while there is a period of consolidation for 30 days after a big long liquidation event. Average forward performance was exceeded 30%. Bitcoin looking good here. But my point here is there is a period of consolidation for 30 days after a big long liquidation event, and then Bitcoin went up. So let's just consider, it might take some more time than we expect for the whole market to go up. Benjamin Coin, last but not least, to those that keep calling for alt season. In order for alt season to happen, Ethereum needs to go to 5K plus and hold it as support. For Ethereum to go to 5K and hold it as support, it means Bitcoin needs to also go to its all-time highs. The process of Bitcoin going to all-time highs would make Bitcoin dominance go higher, just like it has all cycle. So the only way to get an alt season is for Bitcoin dominance to first go up as Bitcoin goes to new highs. If that does not happen, then alt season may not happen. He was right on those Bitcoin dominance multiple times before, so we might, with a better listen from his own experiences, what he said, Bitcoin dominance is around 59.2%. There was a small week to the upside that was happened last weekend. All those being said, the worst is, in my personal opinion, the worst scenario is not a huge crash which happened last week, but the worst scenario could be the alt season is being delayed again and again and again. I think this is the worst scenario ever because people are just tired of just waiting for months and months and months because Mr. Donald Trump was the crypto president. He promised us the old season, everything rally, but it's been delayed and delayed and delayed. People are just getting tired and people just are falling behind. I think this could be the worst scenario ever. Here's a golden rule when it comes to crypto investing. Do not use leverage. You know what this means. No borrowed money for crypto investing because you cannot time the market. Buy the dip if you can. Golden rule, I think these are amazing things to do in times like this. And you will be richly rewarded later. Another golden rule here, never time the market. We don't know what's to come, when peak, when bottom, we don't know. So when market just goes like crazy in Q4 or Q1 next year, I'd like to sell 100% of my crypto assets without regrets. Yes, for and multiple times I can, I can sell. I will sell most of my, majority of my crypto assets. At the same time, this cycle can be extended. So this doesn't make sense, right? But we need to be ready for both scenarios. My plan here is I have two bags of my crypto assets. One bag is for swing trade, most of, more than 80%. The other bag is for hodl for more than 10 plus years. So I am ready for both scenarios. If the peak is takes place like in Q4 or Q1 this year, next year, I can still play the swing trade and just take profits. And it can be extended for to the 2026, even 2027. I have another hodling back for the next several years. So I think you also need to be ready for both scenarios. What do you think? Thank you for listening.